Good morning, everyone. This is Interesting Andrew. I have a series of books here. I just wanted to run past you and see what you thought. For maybe just reading extemporaneously. These are my Summa Theologicas. These are, forget, what is this? The History of the Crusades by Charles Mills. Yeah. These are actually high-bound as well. They're in real leather, and then I put the little strips there because it's pretty. And then this is History of Greece by George Great, famous man. Um, so I have a bunch of books here. This would be the Magdeburg Confession, a YouTube like homesteading prepping channel told me about that. It's about like the role of government, and when like resistance and stuff is moral and such. This is the, let's see, what is this? History of the Crusades, I think. Oh no, History of England by David Hume. So these guys right here, and then I've got by Will Durant, basically the history of the West, all the way up into the age of Napoleon, Charles Dickens, Oliver Twist, Christmas Carol, famous, Great Expectations, Tale of Two Cities. Very interested in that. I've already read Dante. But then I have a bunch of Fyodor Dostoevsky. Let me see here. Which one do I really want to read? Crime, Karamazov. Okay. Um, and I've got like The Hobbit in Latin. I've got all of Sir Thomas Malory's King Arthur stories of the Round Table, Count of Monte Cristo, Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, H.G. Wells, Time Machine, The Island of Dr. Moreau, The Invisible Man, War of the Worlds, First Men in the Moon, and then The Food of the Gods, Jules Verne, 5 Weeks in a Balloon, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Around the World in 80 Days. And then all of Shakespeare. I've actually learned to really like Shakespeare. Hamlet was really cool. I really enjoyed that as a tragedy. It was really good. And then Sherlock Holmes. And then over here, that book is horrible. This sucks ass. Harry S. Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, really. In Latin, I've got Philosopher's Stone in Latin. And I've got Alice in Wonderland. And this is one side Latin, one side English, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just crack it open and check. Yeah. See? So that would be fun. So my idea is, outside of Summa Theologica, doing that, is just reading these like live, read along essentially. Just as something to do and also get me working on that. The Art of Strategy and Thinking Strategically. I did this one first, which is backwards, but this is all on game theory and predicting people's decisions, how to get cooperation between people, that not everything is zero sum. Yeah, it was actually designed, what was it? The Rand Institute or whatever, which was CIA. And it was basically trying to get nations to work with each other during the Cold War, and how to not escalate things but actually get cooperation between the USSR and America so that we don't just kill each other. So these are a bunch of books that I would like to read with you guys. And then I could just do long format videos where I'm just reading. Just because it would give me reason to do it sooner, but then not neglect Summa Theologica. Because Summa is going to take actual work. So I'm on volume 1. This would be like volume 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, and then 14. So yeah, it's like 7,500 pages total. My dog went out. Hold on. So as I was saying, it would just be nice content to read together, so that we could do more material of varying interest. All of this I've actually already read. Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope. It was a fantastic book of basically from like right after Napoleon was basically outwitted by the banking system and the families associated with that, into World War One and then World War II, and this new world order, so to speak, of what we have. That was really good. But a lot of these books I have read, and I thought it was really enjoyable. So I had just finished Gibbons. These were printed in 1838. Some of them are really worse for wear. But for instance, Gibbons was really enjoyable up until basically the Age of the Crusades and Islam. I thought it was really good, and then I'd already heard people say that he was very biased in those last couple books, and yeah, it turned out to be true. But I just thought, for instance, I have read all of these Harvard classics, and as I had said in previous videos, it just, I blew through it, and I didn't absorb it as well as I had hoped. And so for the other books, I figured we could read them together, and it would be something of interest that we could just enjoy together. Fun thing, this series, I've read basically everything pertaining to the Revolutionary War of George Washington. And these are also in the public domain. But yeah, Worthington Chauncey Ford. He was the historian that worked at the Library of Congress, if I'm not mistaken, who actually cataloged all the writings and letters, personal letters of Washington. And so reading his struggles going through the Revolutionary War was very fascinating and showed you the quality of a man that he was. His patience was absolutely the highest of virtue. I mean, he never really lost his cool, so to speak. I have Plutarch's Lives down here. These are only about a century old. However, they there's a big problem with them where that is a synthetic, like fake leather, and it is so cracky. Just even handling it, they just fall apart. And so I couldn't read those. So I actually just had to go with the Plutarch Lives here in volume 12 of Harvard Classics and just read that instead. I've already read like all of Don Quixote, not just part 1, and that was fantastic. But some of these books, I think, would just do people good to at least hear it, if they don't want to buy them themselves. And so that would be fun content. Just tell me your thoughts on it, and maybe we'll do that alongside of Summa Theologica, where I could just take a couple hours on a weekend or something and read, and we could just work through it that way. So yeah, guys, this has been interesting. Andrew, tell me what you think. Thank you. Bye.